Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Copper Rock Real Estate. Commercial and residential real estate in the Mid-Willamette Valley. CopperRockRealty.com. Independent Merchant Brokers. Low-cost and no-cost debit and credit card processing. 877-460-4747. IndependentMerchantBrokers.com. Join Boson Hub Digital Development in supporting Kicking Cancer. Kicking Cancer provides support, education, and resources for cancer patients, survivors, and families. Kicking-cancer.org. More than just a home, the Arbor at Avamere Court in Kaiser. Arbor at AvamereCourt.com. Assisted living at Avamere at Albany. AvamereAtAlbany.com. Discover Oregon Real Estate. Experts in luxury home sales, farm and ranch, commercial, business sales, and land developments. On the web at dore.llc.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ta-da! Here we are. Welcome, everybody, to the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott. Another amazing Monday morning. You know how much I love Mondays, Scott.
Yeah, I love we get to hang out together and, as we say, hang out with the most remarkable people on the planet. Caleb today is, as we were talking in the green room, part of a family business, and we get to learn about that today.
Yes, we're so blessed. And they are one of our sponsors also, which is amazing. We're so thankful for them and all of their support. But yeah, what a blessing he is. But today, I just want to remind everybody, we're here every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's right. We go live at 9 a.m. Pacific, but then it sits on the platforms we broadcast on, LinkedIn and YouTube forever, Facebook for 30 days. So you go back and watch that. You can share, you can connect with people. Also, there's more. You also will find out that it converts to audio podcast and you can listen on Spotify. So if you don't have time to listen or to watch it, you can listen. But wait, there's more. There's also the Experience Radio Network. And so it is on KWIL in Albany, Oregon, 6 p.m. tonight, Pacific time. Also on KYKN this coming Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. So you can also listen to it on radio as well. There's so many opportunities, and we love it if you'd listen, share, and like all that you can. Thank you. Right, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. And the Saturday, 8:30 on KYKN also streams out. So if you are like me, I use the TuneIn app and listen to radio stations around the world. And you can get KYKN Saturday morning at 8:30 Pacific time and share that with your friends.
Absolutely. And also, for more information on Scott and I, you can go to local.theexperience.video today, and it has more information on all that Scott and I are doing with the Experience, from the Experience Local to the Experience Live. We have the Experience Backstage, and Scott has the Waco Experience. So many great things going on. And also, there's ways to find out about other live streams that I'm doing and we're doing as well. And the Experience.video is where you find a direct link to our YouTube page, although you can find it at local.theexperience.video. Either way, you can get there, and we encourage you to subscribe today and really be part of our community on YouTube. Right, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got Marketing with Russ twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, as well as Russ Reels. So there's a lot of content. And it's not about Russ and Scott. It's about these great guests that we bring into the show.
Amen.
Every week, inspirational stories.
We are so blessed. We have so many amazing friends like Caleb today, which we're going to talk to in just a minute. But before we get to him, Scott, what amazing things are happening for you this week?
Well, Thursday, I hop on the plane and fly to Oregon for 11 days. We've got a high school reunion coming up at Sky High in downtown Corvallis. And then I'll be at the Career Summit sponsored by Uplift Leadership. This provides career guidance for high school and college students. I'm on the board, and this is the third year that we're running the Career Summit at University of Oregon. And it's a sleep-in camp for the high school and college students. It's just a phenomenal experience. The students get connected to folks who can actually help them in their careers. And I was just listening, Russ, I was listening to a news story today that it is becoming increasingly difficult for college graduates to find a job. And so every little bit that we can do to help is going to make a difference for decades to come.
Amen to that. I know it is difficult. You got to put a lot of work into it. I happen to have a niece, my youngest niece, who just graduated from Oregon State and actually had to work hard at it, but got a job with the Blazers coming straight out of college. So she's excited about that, the Portland Trail Blazers. So anyway, congratulations to her on that. And so Allison, congratulations. Anyway, with that, we're going to jump into our guest today. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Here he is, Mr. Caleb Rice. Ching. Hey, Caleb.
Hello. How are we doing?
How are you, my friend?
Amazing. Incredible. It's another wonderful Monday. We made it through another week. Grinding forward. Excited.
Caleb, I want you to go in and tell us about independent merchant brokers. I don't think a lot of people know what kind of business that is and how it impacts them on, I will say, on a daily basis. So whether they're a business, a retailer, or they're a purchaser, I will tell you that everyone's interacting with your industry every day.
That's right. That's right.
So tell us what's going on.
And a very, it's a very broad question because it's got there's so many aspects to that. But at its roots, independent merchant brokers is just that. In 3 words, we are an independent merchant services brokerage. So we broker services for payment processing. So if you need to take payments in any way, whether that's invoicing services, over-the-counter services, or e-commerce, those are kind of the most common 3 avenues that we specialize in. We provide you the ability to take payments in those industries. And so that covers a vast variety of industries. But you're absolutely right. Your average consumer has no idea what's actually going on behind the scenes. They think it's just the magic of swiping their card, and that's kind of how it's designed. It is meant to feel like just the magic of swiping your cards. So you swipe it more often. There is quite a bit of process behind the scenes that nobody ever actually sees or interacts with. And so that's essentially what we do.
Well, and I want to talk more about how people can magically take more money than they should and how you are a blessing to people in that area. But before we get there, let's back up a little bit. Tell us a little bit about who is Caleb and what are you all about? You got a big family. Give us just a little input on you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in a very large family. I'm number 6 out of 12 children, all from the same parents. And growing up, everybody always says that, oh, that must have been crazy. Your family get-togethers must be crazy and things like that. And reality is, it's no crazier than the family with 2 kids because it's just normal to us. This is what we grew up with. So it might seem crazy to others, but this is what we are used to, and we just have a blast. So number 6, dead center in the large family, devout follower of Jesus Christ. That is my passion. That is of all else. That is who I am and what I believe. And secondly is serving people through work. And so I am a husband to an amazing and beautiful wife. Her name is Frankie. And in about 20 weeks, I will be the father to an amazing son. And so we have our 20-week checkup this morning. So that's kind of what's present of mind. That's what's coming up.
So you got a growing
Congratulations.
family, and so congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
You mentioned your faith, and this is important. Let's talk about how this integrates with the business, because you are independent merchant brokers. You're not affiliated with a bank, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm a business, I want to take payments through cards, so I have to go to my bank and sign up with them, which is
Correct.
not true, because you guys are independent. So let's talk about integrating your faith in the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had that question asked before, and to me, it's people ask, how do you mix your faith, or how do you put your faith in action in your business and in family, and in, name your different area there. But to me, what I feel challenged about is my faith shouldn't be just something that I apply here and there. What Jesus did in my life so radically changed me that it is infectious. It goes into it is how we operate as a business. It is how we operate as a family, and it is how I operate on a personal level. And so, it's all about treating people right. That's how the business was structured. That's why we are independent. You will go to you mentioned it yourself. You'll go to your bank and you'll say, hey, I need to take payments. And they'll be able to provide you with one solution. But what my dad found when he was starting out in this industry is that isn't really serving people's needs. That's more serving your needs. That's more, shoehorning in solutions where they probably aren't the best solution. And so my dad created this business by becoming an independent brokerage. So when we go and we sign up to broker the services of payment processors, we do a great vetting process where we pick apart the contracts, and we make sure that that the processor is aligned with us in taking care of our merchants first. That is our mentality. We have a merchant first mentality, and we're going to do whatever it takes to keep that merchant happy and make sure that they are treated fairly. There is so much shady nonsense in this industry, and people getting taken advantage of. And some of that is unavoidable. But what we do is we act as a barrier between the client and the payment processor, so that they can come to us, they can voice their concerns, that when they're having issues, they have a local person that they can work with. That we tell our merchants, you don't have to be a professional in the payment processing or the point of sale industry. Let us take care of that for you. And so all that to say, we stay independent. We're not going to come to you and try to slip on a shoe and say it's one size fits all. We're going to listen to your needs and find a solution that works for you.
Yeah. And see, that's what I love about your business. I love the fact that you're concerned about what works best for you, the client. And I mean, that is just, integrity. And I just want to thank you for that, because I get to deal with you. Not only do you make it simple for me in a challenging business, and you and I have had our challenges of getting what works for me, but you guys, the system that I have works great for my customers, makes it easy to do business. And, we have to deal with fees here and there, but we're working around things, and you're always advocating for me, which I appreciate. As I have always somebody to go to. I can contact you or somebody in the business and get help when I need it. And that makes such a huge, huge difference to me. And I want you to know, Caleb, how much I personally appreciate that and all that you guys do. I just want to remind everybody, we're talking to Caleb Rice with Independent Merchant Brokers, IMB, again today. And Caleb, I want to talk a little bit about some of those fees that people are, and how much money you can actually save businesses. You've got some examples of large amounts you've been able to save businesses just by having integrity and being honest with people and saying, this is what we can do for you. And so you don't have to pay these huge fees, especially businesses that are doing a ton of processing. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. So like I mentioned earlier, the payment processing space is just a very, very shady space, and payment processors and Visa and MasterCard, the card brands, they count on not only customers to not know what's going on, but also businesses to not know what's going on. That's what they're counting on. And so, I hear stories all the time of our clients getting salespeople walking into their doors and saying, I can save you this, 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 and this, or I can do this for you. And then what I'll usually ask them is, okay, send me over what they're claiming. And most of the time they're not actually claiming or saying what they're going to do to save them the money. They're just going to say, or they're just saying, I can do this. And so there's so much room there for businesses to get taken advantage of, because there's just all this confusion. And so usually once a payment processor is in somebody's pocket, they dig around for extra change, and same goes for the card brands. And so what we do is transparent pricing models. And so what that means is every single client of ours is going to know exactly what they're paying. So whether that's, on an interchange plus pricing model, or a flat rate pricing model, or dual pricing or surcharging, those options, our merchants are going to know exactly what they're paying. Not all of it is nonsense, but there certainly is. We'll get statements sometimes from clients that we're prospecting, and just at the bottom of those statements, there's just line item after line item of just nonsense fees, PCI non-compliance, and then just tons of other annual fees and subscription fees and things like that. And so I'm not going to say that all of that is nonsense. Certainly the payment processors need to make money as well. They're not nonprofits, and Visa and MasterCard do. But what we do best is keeping those payment processors and Visa in check. We don't negotiate with Visa on interchange rates or anything like that. But what we do say is the markup that the processor is going to take, we have control over that. That's one of those things that we negotiate into our contracts with our payment processors is, hey, you can't go and jack up our client rates without our approval. We're not, and we have a track record of not raising rates on any of our clients. You come on board with us and you're going to keep the same rate. So that's where we've been able to save people money, and to the tune of thousands of dollars. There was a client up in the Salem area that does a lot of processing, and they were getting absolutely taken advantage of. And over the I believe it's 3 or 4 years now, we've been able to save them over $400,000. That's $100,000 a year that they can put back into their business, back into their employees, and to grow their business. And we've just seen that business take off. And so that's one story. Another story, one of my favorites, a good friend of mine, actually a sponsor of this podcast as well. He shared just a really heartwarming story with me, because he was with, I believe, Stripe before he came to me and said, hey, I need X, Y, and we happened to have a phenomenal solution for him. And last year he was able to save $18,000, and he told me, I'm able to take my kid to Hawaii with me on this trip because of the money that I've been able to save. And so it's not always the stories of people saving hundreds of thousands of dollars. We love doing that, but it's more about what my dad built this business on, which is taking care of the small to medium-sized businesses and putting money back into their pockets, because those are oftentimes the ones that are needing it the most. Those are the ones that are, they don't have extra couple $1,000s laying around at the end of the month. And so those are the stories that I want more of, is the local businesses that are just trying to live out their dream, that can, save a little bit of extra money processing through us.
Hearing the story, I love these stories because it's real life. These are people that could reach out and share those real life experiences. Two things that I wonder about. One of them is being a Christian in an industry that is known for being kind of slimy. I mean, that's just, I don't know, better way to put it.
Yeah.
Must be kind of a challenge, because you get caught up in that. And then the other is the practical side from a business, because when you depend on that processing and it goes down, those big companies, it doesn't really hurt them, but man, It can kill a business, if they're offline for a day or 2 days, and I was working with a company that was their online sales were off for 3 days, and it took months to recover because people just go somewhere else. So let's talk about a couple of those things.
Yeah, certainly. You hit on a couple of really interesting topics there. Dependability is huge. Our average restaurant right now is doing 90 to 10%, or 90-10 split on cash versus card, or card versus cash, I should say. 90% is card. And so when those services go down, that's money walking out the door. That's oftentimes people that are getting free food, or the restaurant's comping them or whatever, because nobody's really carrying. Not a lot of people are carrying around cash nowadays, and so that stuff can really hit a business bad. And so I'll be the first to say that I am not going to say that our technology or the products that we rep are perfect and never fail. It's technology. It's going to fail. But that's why you have IMB in your corner, because when those crises are hitting, you don't want to be calling some 1-800 number and waiting on hold like everybody else. You want to call a local number that can help you out to resolve those problems. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. Those things can really, really hurt a business. And so it's about who you have in your corner. It's like the way that I describe it is it's like a boxing match. Many times business is like a boxing match. And so, when you've taken some pretty heavy hits and some shots, it's all about who you got in your corner. When you're going back to your corner, who can help you out and get you out of that mess. And IMB, I'm proud to say, has been that solution for a lot of people, because our systems are not perfect. Outages do happen. And so, but I'm friends with a lot of people in the industry, other sales offices around the nation. And so I hear the horror stories about when outages happen and all their angry customers, and they're always worried like, oh, I'm going to lose customers over this and that. And I'm happy to say that I don't have those same fears. Our customers love to call us. And even when things aren't going great, it is such a difference maker to have somebody local that they can count on when crisis is hitting.
Well, this is what I love most about you and your business is, like you said, you're always in the corner. You're always in their corner, and you've been in my corner and helped me so much. But we're all about community. And I always talk about, connection and community building. And the fact is, you guys are experts at that. You guys have got and dove into help. You dove into helping out with the chambers and the greeters and other networking groups within the community, and supporting others in the community, like the Experience Local. And so we are always thankful for that. But talk a little bit about that connection. And your dad has been amazing at that, and you were really involved for quite a while. And you guys actually help everybody by texting out locations of chamber greeters and all the things going on. How important is that community to you guys and all that you do?
It's crucial. It is the bedrock of all that we do. In our industry, there is a lot of there's a lot of competition that's going after the big names and large business and all that, because that's kind of where a lot of the money is made, those larger clients. And my dad built this business on taking care of the small guy, taking care of the small to medium-sized business, and taking care of our community. The Chamber of Commerce directly, I can't say that we have a ton of clients that came from the Chamber of Commerce, but what I can say is we've built a name and a reputation through the Chambers of Commerce and through networking events and through, nonprofits and things like that, that has a reputation and that has some merit to it. And so that has helped exponentially. So much of this, when you're working in one of these kind of shadier, slimier industries, it's all about taking care of people. And we don't dump a bunch of money into marketing. We are almost 100% word of mouth. And so word of mouth, it takes time to build that. And it takes time taking care of people that you're not always going to see an immediate profit out of. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are so good at that. And Scott, I'm jumping in, as you know, to be the responsible host and start wrapping things up here. But Caleb, I want to tell you that, what you just said is crucial. Community building is not always a direct source, but it's always a direct link. When all the things that you do link to people that hear about you, that connect you to other people, I would say personally that of the business that I have in my business, probably 95% of it is attributed to my networking and connecting with people. It all is a springboard for everything going on. And those people that you get to know through other people. Amazing quick story. You never know where this is going to happen. And Scott knows this one connection back in Britain. She's actually in the senior care industry back there. And Scott and I have both dealt with her. She just connected me with somebody in Oregon City. And I connected with that person. I said, well, it's kind of funny because, I grew up in Oregon City, and the friend that connected us was all the way in the United Kingdom.
Really?
It's crazy how that goes, but you never know the connections you make. And that's why community building is so important. So with that, Caleb, let me just give you a moment to give your gold nugget of today. We only have a couple minutes left. Give us your gold nugget of today, what you really want people to remember, and how do they get in touch with you?
I wasn't ready for that question.
Well, you're going to start with
the
connection. There you go.
Yeah. Well, to connect with me or IMB, you'll call our office number, 877-460-4747. And we've got options on there. We got our support line on there, our sales line on there, and then all other questions, come talk to me. That's our office number. And then email is there on the screen. Is Caleb, CALEB at imb-llc.com. Go check out our website. But what I want everybody to know is that you have a local advocate in the payment processing space. And I know that it takes a lot of time to build up trust, and especially in the payment space, nobody jumps ship quickly in the payment space. It takes time to build up trust. It's not a quick turnaround time a lot of times. And so, but what I want people to know is we specialize in earning people's businesses. We don't go in there with high pressure sales tactics. We want people to know what we offer, and them for them to feel comfortable coming to us with their payment needs. And so, you don't be scared about it. We say, don't be a square, go with the guys that care. There's many other taglines, but that's one of them. So come talk to us.
Yeah, I love that. Don't be a square, go with the guys who care. People know that's tied into, obviously, the service square as a pun and fun. But anyway, I appreciate all that you do. And I wanted to say, if you could repeat your phone number one more time.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is 877-460-4747.
Perfect. We'll get that up on the screen as well. We do have your website and your email has been ticking along the bottom. And Caleb, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate all that you do, all your support. What a great community guy you are. And individually, what a wonderful person you are. And we're going to say goodbye. Hang tight in the green room for just a second, but Scott and I are going to wrap things up.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Take care.
Good to see you,
Thank
Caleb.
you. All right. See ya. Well, Scott, it's been an exciting day. And, as always, we have amazing guests.
Yeah, it's great to see Christians in an industry that needs Christians. So thank you to Caleb and the whole Rice family for being independent merchant brokers. And people can go to independentmerchantbrokers.com.
Yeah, so good. And we got the phone number up there as well for you. And just remember, everybody, you really need advocates in your court when it comes to these kind of services. So today, thanks so much for being here. We're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time. And we're all about local community. We appreciate you. Until next week, have a blessed and amazing week and enjoy
your experience locally.
Woohoo! See ya.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.